Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People, because I love working for fans of this Carolina Panthers team. So please, if you have not subscribed, do so. Help me get that next plateau of 6,000 subscribers. I know it's asking a lot because right now we're in the midst of a big losing streak, but I really want to continue to get answers for you all about this team, talk to players, talk to coaches, and the more subscribers I have, the better that helps. So let's just go ahead and get into it. The Carolina Panthers today visiting the New York Giants. The Giants had their home opener, and unfortunately this game had the Carolina Panthers not on the right side of things. Final score in this game, Carolina Panthers 16, New York Giants 19. So that moves the Carolina Panthers to 0-2. The New York Giants are now 2-0. And you don't see it now, but behind me was a lot of people. I've never seen as many people on the field after a game as I have here. So some kind of program, I guess they have, where they let tons of fans come down on the field after the game, run around, play football, play catch, do a 40-yard dash. But nevertheless, it's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about this Carolina Panthers team. I'm here to take your questions as much as I can. Sorry for the lack of a pregame show. You know, I flew up today to New York to try to cover this game. I had plenty of time for my commute, did not know that they'd have construction and such. That it would take me over an hour to get to the airport, plus rental car stuff. And I got to make sure I get back in time. So we're still going to answer as many questions as we can today about this matchup today. Matt Rhule, let me see. Should I play the Matt Rules? Which order should I don't even know which order I want to do things. Let's go and take a look at some stats really quickly today, and then I'll get into some of the press conference that we had with Matt Rhule. Today's game, Baker Mayfield, 14 of 29 for 145 yards, had one touchdown, just 2 sacks, but look at that passer rating. A 74.6 passer rating, under 150 yards passing, not good enough. I'll just leave it at that, not good enough. It wasn't atrocious. He didn't have any turnovers, which is something that, you know, with Sam Darnold back there, we got used to seeing something that has been a problem with Baker in the past was his turnovers, so he's not getting the turnovers. So, you know, if you want to look for some optimism there, he's not doing that, but we certainly need to get more on page with our wide receivers, get our completion percentages up. Let's talk about this defensive side. Now let's skip the defense. We'll come back to the defensive side. Let's go about the rushing. Christian McCaffrey last week versus the Cleveland Browns barely saw the ball in the first half. I think he had 3 touches rushing, and he had 2 receiving. He had like 5 touches in that first half last week. Much better this week. And, you know, I'm going to play a clip for you in a second about Coach Rhule talking about how much more they were intentional about getting Christian McCaffrey the ball, which I figured they were going to be all week long. Matt Rhule as well as Ben McAdoo kind of coy about saying, you know, we're not going to force anything. We'll see. We're not going to count his touches. But certainly when you watch that game today, it seemed like there was an intentional effort. And I'm going to play those comments for you here in a second on the Matt Rhule said post-game about Christian's rushes. But let's go and look back at the stats for today. Christian had 15 carries, 102 yards for a 6.8 yard average. Had a nice 42-yard run. Baker was asked, hey, did you feel like you were running for your life out there today? And, of course, if you're any quarterback worth a grain, you've been in the league more than a minute, you know not to throw your offensive line under the bus. So he said, no, I did not feel like I was running for my life out there, just doing what I had to do. But Baker Mayfield, our second leading rusher today, 6 rushes, 35 yards, a good 5.8 yard average. And then Dante Foreman out there with 2 for 9 yards. And let's go a few more. Receiving. Now I'm going to tell you, before I looked at the stats, I was going to ask myself the question, one of the things that Baker Mayfield needs to improve on, is it getting the ball around to his receivers? Because at one point to me, I thought he was targeting Shi Smith a lot, and Shi Smith had 2 drops, but it was not that. He actually did get the ball around pretty evenly to his receivers. You see here DJ Moore. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, we got it. This is not good enough. This is not good enough, and I know that the fire Matt Rhule could start to trend at any moment now, and I can't say that it shouldn't. You have a coach that hasn't won. I believe it's 9 games. I could be wrong. Sorry, it's been a long day traveling up to New York. He's lost 8 or 9 games in a row. How could you not, you know, You would not be doing your due diligence as an owner of a team if you lose that many games and you just don't go and evaluate things from top to bottom. But DJ Moore, 3 receptions on 6 targets, 43 yards. Robbie Anderson, 3 receptions, 32 yards. And then Christian McCaffrey with 4 receptions on 26 yards. Then we got one more that we'll go over here, our defensive stats. Leading tackler today was Frankie Louvu. Shaq Thompson as well, right behind him there. And some of you guys weren't happy with Brian Burns today. Why is that? Tell me, talk to me. Leave me some comments. But Brian Burns did not get any sacks today, but he was able to get to the quarterback 4 times with the 4 quarterback hits. So let me go ahead and check the comments here really quickly. All right, we got some comments coming. Hey, like this channel if you're watching the video, hit that subscribe button. Also, hey, I know it's a tough time to say this, guys, but I'm an independent media, 100% supported by your donations and contributions. So anytime you have a chance to hit that super chat, please consider doing so and help me continue to do what I love and help me continue to bring you the content that you love, all right? So I see the comments coming. We're going to have a chance to get into some of the comments, so please continue to leave those comments coming, all right? Let's go ahead and get into some coaches talk, all right? Matt Rhule spoke with the media after the game today and took some blame for things that happened. Though, let me point this out. Again, the pregame show wasn't the production that I liked. I had to do it from my car on the way to the stadium. One of the things I talked about in that pregame show was Graham Gano, whether he's playing for the Giants or the Carolina Panthers, seems to always have a good game when these two teams play. Today, unfortunately for us, it was no different. Graham Gano, 4 for 4 on extra points, hitting a couple of 30, I think about a 33-yarder and a 36-yarder, and then casually nailing 2 50-plus yard field goals, nailing a 51-yarder and also nailing a 56-yard, good for 12 points. And if you play him in fantasy, you got a lot more than 12 points. But Graham Gano really was a standout guy for the New York Giants today. And on the other side, while I'm talking about the Giants, I was concerned. Nick Chubb ran all over us, averaging over 6 yards a carry last week. Saquon against the Titans averaged over 9 yards a carry last week. What would this team do with Saquon Barkley today? And they did an excellent job. Excellent job. I think he had like 3 yards rushing that first half. Was able to get a little bit more, finished the game with about 72 yards total rushing. Still a very satisfactory thing, but we are not getting it done. Being close is kind of fine when it happens the first couple of times, but being close after you've lost 8 or 9 games in a row is just not good enough. But Coach Rhule, after the game immediately, he seemed different. Seemed different in the fact of, like, these losses are like, this one's hurting a little bit more. And he said his heart goes out for these guys. They're doing everything he's asking. They're playing, with max effort. But they're coming up short. And he needs to find a way to help these guys not come up short every week. And furthermore, he said third downs. He feels like that was a problem with this team today. But let me go ahead and play one of the coach's responses to my questions on, one, the play of Christian McCaffrey, how they were they or were they not intentional about getting him some carries today, as well as touching on the play of Baker Mayfield. So just give me a second. I'm going to have that up here for you.
Game. We felt like the downhill running game was what. I think we felt like as we got into the game, we felt like the downhill running game was what was clicking. We felt like we had some good runs in the downhill running game. So, we coming out of last week and not getting a lot of plays in the first half, we felt like we needed to get him some more touches in the first half. And I think in the second half, as we kind of settled into like, hey, this is how they're playing the downhill run game. Those were things that we tried to focus on.
What did you see from Baker today?
I think the pressure. I thought he made some good plays. I thought the pressure at the end, having the ball out of his hand, he made some unbelievable the seam route, the hot he threw to Ian. I thought early on he burned the blitz with a couple of really nice throws that extended drives, and But in the end, we weren't able to pick it. And again, going back to Joe's question, I can't say on all the blitzes what exactly. I don't know the call until I talk to him afterwards. So I have to go back and see as we watch the tape. But we knew it was going to be a challenge coming in with their blitz packages and all the things they would throw at us. And just weren't able to get enough of them done. But I thought he competed. Baker's always going to compete. I feel like, again, not to be Pollyannish, but I feel like as he continues to be in the offense, some of the things he did today were really high level, some of those slight adjustments and hots. As he continues in the offense, I think it's all going to click for him, and he's going to see it and play really fast.
So there you have Coach talking about, yes, they were more intentional on getting Christian McCaffrey the ball, wanted to get him going, know that they didn't have enough touches for him last week, and I believe Christian responded pretty well with the number of reps that they were able to give him today. And then about Baker Mayfield, in my notes and watching the game, I said I like Baker Mayfield's grit. I like his tenacity. I like his hustle. They just need to get just a little bit better at the game overall and his passing. His passing seems inconsistent, but again, I won't say but again nothing. We need to win. But Baker was also under a lot of pressure today. And, I don't know if the offensive line wasn't prepared for all the blitzes. I feel like the coach wants to have to go back and look at the tape. I know a few times it seemed like they were sending more people than they could block for. So just got to do a little bit more film study there. But the blitzes were certainly something that the Giants did heavily today. And, yeah, a few times it caused Ikemi Kwanu to not do what he should have done. And, it was really obvious of one play late in the game where he led Baker to get in a sack where he was just a little too wide in his protection. The guy came inside, just didn't do a move, just used all speed and was able to get to Baker. Wasn't able to get any kind of shot at having any play there. So, he's a rookie. He's a rookie playing one of the toughest positions on the offensive line in the NFL, and it's going to take some time. Unfortunately, this Carolina Panthers team is 0-2. Something is going to have to happen dramatically different for this team to start having a chance to win because their schedule is easier in these first couple of games, and they're going to start getting harder. I know within a month we're going to be out in L.A. playing the Super Bowl champs. So we'll see. Baker Mayfield, I asked him, hey, Baker, you're a leader on this team. This team isn't doing well. What are you saying to these guys right now to keep them going in that locker room? Let me play this clip for you right here, then I'm going to get to your questions, all right? So if you've been leaving some questions, please continue to leave them. I'm about to get to them in just 2 seconds here.
I mean, it's not overcomplicated, to be honest with you. I mean, we just have to come out and play. It's the mental hump of the 0-2 record, but knowing that there's a lot of ball left. But also, you think about it, like I said, we were 6-6 at halftime when, we should have been losing, or, if you look at the stats and the situations. But we're very close. Eliminate our own mistakes and just go play. We put in the work. We deserve to have fun on Sundays and go execute.
So there you have Baker talking about, the fact that, yes, it's 0-2 and it's a mental thing. These guys need to deal with that, but also understand that it's a lot of games left. It's still 15 games left. And I do believe that being a new quarterback, being such a good leader, that he will be able to reach his teammates and say, hey, let's not tank it yet. Let's not tank. Let's continue to understand that we have an opportunity, and maybe even hanging their hat on the fact that they haven't had any NFC South games. Now, the playoff format has changed. It's not as crucial as it used to be, but it's still something that you can use to say, hey, let's keep fighting. Let's reach our potential. And he has a point. These guys work hard. Coach Rhule said these guys work hard. And but it's tough to watch. I'm going to tell you, it's tough to watch with them being so close but losing so many times today, so many times. I think it was a stat that I saw on the broadcast during the game about how this team has led in so many games. Only the Kansas City Chiefs have led in more games. But the differences between the two teams, the Kansas City Chiefs and this Carolina Panthers team, is tremendously different. So let's go ahead and get into the comments. Thank everybody for your patience. Want to go over all that information. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Help me get to 6,000. And, hey, to my family and wife back home, if you're watching, thanks for watching. Love you. Going to be home later tonight. Let's go ahead and try to run through some comments here. All righty. Shakid, fire Rhule, enough with his excuse. More worship. This team, hey, this team is not good is what he says. Ali Broderick talking about this team not being good. Malcolm, Yes, sir. Hey, if I can help you guys by being an outlet to getting your frustrations out, I don't care. Man of the people works for you. So whatever I need to do to keep you here, to keep you tuned in and keep you, cheering on this team as much as we can, because we do need to, going to be a little bit of a mom parent here. We still need to cheer these guys on. We got to hope that, we got to tell them we need change, but we got to cheer them on each Sunday. Next week at Bank of America, just can't play 4 full quarters, man. It's tough. It's tough. To start off last week and just can't get anything going. You having all these turnovers. I'm sorry, we did not have a lot of turnovers. We're having tip balls. We're having drop balls from the snap. Total of 8 basically wasted plays. And then this today, you have 2 fumbles literally before I can get into my seat in the press box. I missed about half of the first quarter, and I go and I look at everything to get up to date. First 2 possessions, fumble, and the Giants are scoring. So, I'm glad these guys are showing some resiliency. They're not just laying down saying, oh, here we go again, and they should not. It's only the second game of the season, but it just needs to be better. Looks like the second game we lost by a field goal. That is true. We suck. We're tanking for Will Anderson or Bryce Young. All the Panthers podcasts want to go live at the same time. Hey, I got to go live as soon as I can. Shout out to the other Panther podcasts out there. And hopefully everybody that's watching, I appreciate you watching. Hope you subscribe. And hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button. Chris, you have one job: to keep Matt Rhule and Phil Snow away from returning to Charlotte. Enough is enough. Hey, if I can share anything that kind of, I don't know. I met Scott Fitterer at halftime. Nice little conversation to have with him. Let's keep it going. Snow is fine. It's a damn offense. I'm not sure. Tomorrow is my day after show. I have Ask Me Your Carolina Panthers questions. I hope you all tune in. I'll have a chance to have digested this game a lot more, and we'll offer some more opinions on what exactly I think is going wrong. But again, change has to be evaluated from David Tepper down about this Carolina Panthers team. It's tough to say you want change after 2 games, and they've been close. But it also happened a lot last year that we lost games like this. So, yeah, not sure what to say on this one. 1-25 when teams score 17 points. If you only allow 19 points and the offense turned the ball over, short fields, lucky it wasn't 29 points. It certainly could have been a lot worse than it was. I mean, they only had 1 touchdown, had a bunch of field goals. So, yeah, I mean, I could find positive points all day long for this team, but I'm not going to, only because I know as fans, it's 8 or 9 games in a row. Optimism is hard to have at this point. You just need some victories. You got to have some victories. So I'm not going to support the silver lining and losses right now. It's not going to happen for me. Teblin, another fire Rhule. Need more Higgins and Marshall. So, it was asked about thoughts on playing other guys, and Coach Rhule said, I like Shi Smith. He certainly don't want to have those drops that he had. But, Marshall is interesting. He got some reps in today. He did get some reps, wasn't able to get any targets. It's interesting that Matt Rhule earlier this week said that Terrence Marshall Jr. had his best practice this week that he's seen all season. And for Shi Smith to struggle with the drops and Terrace not getting any balls thrown his way, I don't know how many snaps he got, but, there are some questions there. There are some – oh, wow. Live TV, you can't mute out a burp. Sorry about that. But I don't know. I don't, like I said, I'm going to have to – this is one for me that I'm going to have to take a day and get some more thoughts. Brian, let an athletic quarterback contain a lot. Brian, let an athletic quarterback contain a lot. You're a captain now. You got to lead by play. Being a young guy ain't going to cut it no more. So he did have 4 hits on the quarterback, But what I did not have a chance to ask Coach Rhule was in that second half, I don't know if that's a normal rotation for Brian Burns, but he was out to me noticeably. And I don't know if that was what the reason for that was. I will try to find out about that tomorrow, bug on my neck. Matt knows Douglas's offense and defense were both underwhelming. Where's Chenault? Yeah, Chenault was inactive today. Coach talked about him last week, saying that he just needs to get up to speed with the playbook. Had hoped that he would be able to do so by this week. He didn't play today, so I would say he's still not up to speed on the playbook, or he's not up to speed on the playbook and he doesn't see enough from him to, get him out there and have him just limited with what he does know of the playbook. So, yeah, that's something to watch as well about Chenault. Did Rashard Higgins have any snaps? So I don't immediately have the snap count. I don't know if I can quickly get that, unfortunately for you. So I have to say wait till tomorrow and I can confirm on that part. Matt Rhule discussed about the blitz package the Giants offered, and the team was not hiding the fact that they were blitzing. How is it I can see the cornerback rushing and Baker can't move the O-line? So, yeah, there's a tandem there. There's Baker can make some calls, and then there's things that the O-line can do. I don't know fully what all the options are Baker has to call when he sees certain blitzes. And again, one time I did see that it was just the fact that Ikem Ekwonu just missed. And when you miss on a blitz, yeah, you're going to have your quarterback get hit, and that's what happened. So I'm not sure how much it is of who with Baker and the O-line, but, you saw the blitzes all day on both sides of the ball. You saw them coming from both sides of the ball, and it was effective. And we didn't overcome it, that's for sure. McAdoo needs to get a job. Cut Shy Smith, oh, he's just joking. All right. What changes do I think they can make to become a better team? So, yeah, right now, immediately after game, I don't have anything for you, Allie, but check back with me tomorrow and do my Ask Me Your Carolina Panthers question. I'll have some more feedback for you. A loss is a loss. Yeah, absolutely. And Leroy, please don't stop watching football. I need the viewers. I need the subscribers, all right? So at least just turn it on, watch, like, and then turn it back off or something. But I don't know. It's certainly going to get tough for fans really, really quick. And you wonder how much David Tepper's going to care about that. How much does he have to care about fans immediately being just tuning out with this, with it being a longer season? I don't know. Questions, those things are still certainly going to come out pretty quick. Burns got tunnel vision. So it's us versus Atlanta Buzzers for the #1 pick, right? I hope not. I don't hope that this team – I mean, gosh, you guys are – I know it's tough. And all I can promise to do is interview these guys, interview these coaches, interview these players. Let you determine for yourself what can be done and what they're going to do to adjust to make it better. But again, Coach Rhule seemed a little more down today than usual after a loss. Not that he's ever just been out there skipping after a loss, but he just said I think he knows that, man, I got to get this fixed. I got to get this fixed quickly. So I'm sorry that I don't have all the answers for you all today about this matchup, but I hope you at least enjoyed the show. Chris Jenkins live at MetLife Stadium in New York for Charlotte Vibe. Thank you so much for watching it again. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be back on your channels tomorrow to talk more about this Carolina Panther team and get some more answers from Coach Matt Rhule.